You know, it's crazy that I've lived here for 20 years, and I've seen people come and go in this town, but there's a certain, and I can't. Lee, you've been with me 5.5 years now. We've been fucking around.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen me in the 5.5 years go to the celebrity parties or want to go to premieres?
I've been waiting for my invite. I haven't got no
like
one
that.
cool.
Like, I just don't do that
yeah,
stuff.
no.
I could go to parties. I remember when I first got here, getting invited to these parties, and I probably went to 2 of them, and I knew right off the bat I didn't belong there. Like, I had just always felt that I didn't belong there. Don't get me wrong, people spoke to me, and I made people laugh, and I mingled. I just always felt like I didn't belong there, because I always felt that the people that saw me at those things thought I was there for a reason. So I always tried to avoid all that type of stuff.
But aren't they there for that same reason?
Not really. They're really friends, and they've already made it. They're successful.
Oh, okay.
You know, they deserve to hang out with one another and lie to one another. I'd never gotten to that point. So it was just weird that people think, I don't know how to describe this, sometimes that who you hang with or something will get you to the next level, whether in film. Like, sometimes I'm watching a movie and somebody will say, well, hey, the reason why he got there is because he's such and such his son. Or the reason why he's there is because he's such and such his nephew or something like that. And they really don't understand. What people don't understand is that somebody could walk you to the dance. You still got to go in there and dance.
I think you're mostly right, but especially in that industry and film and stuff, it seems like there's always going to be some movie, some TV show to hire people. So, I mean, is that, I think in a lot of jobs, you're right.
In the 20 years I've been here, I've been given maybe 3 or 4 roles that I got a call and they said, come on down and do the work. And it was when I first got here, believe it or not, like on pilots for Fox or ABC. There was a casting director that called me twice. There was another casting director, you know, so yes, I can't lie to you. But even if people have you in mind for a project, and this has been the whole time I've been here, I've always had to go down there and audition. And fucking be prepared, because I always felt that if Lee Syatt made a call for me, I got to be better than everybody else. When I worked for my in-laws, when I got out of prison, I worked along 6 fucking guys, and I could look you in the eye. And if I could find any of those guys today, except for Mike Roebuck, we could call him up right now. They'll tell you that when I worked. Like, I didn't talk, I didn't chitter-chat. I didn't have to rub suntan lotion on myself and take a break. I fucking got dirty. Like, you know, I went there to work. I worked as hard or harder than anybody else because I was working for my in-laws. And I never wanted anybody to say I was a dumb son-in-law. I took a certain pride in that.
Yeah. I mean, did you have an experience with someone who like, you worked at a place and their son was an asshole? Or...
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. And you look at it and go, Jesus, like my friend Veneri, the guy who owns the funeral parlor, when he was a kid, he worked. And when I look you in the eye and I tell you he worked. Like when we were 17, his parents would go to Florida for the holidays. And Gia would stay home and work in that funeral parlor. And he knew every aspect of it by the time he was 18 or 19. He knew how the cleaning would be. He knew the autopsy procedures. He knew all the people he had to deal with to get death certificates. He knew all that shit because he did it from scratch since the time he was probably 12 or 11.
I mean, not to get you off track, but someone like that, he's probably in the top 5% of all morticians in the country. He's been doing it all his life.
All his life. But on the other hand, you might see a family where they own a construction company. And the kid don't do construction, but he drives the best car in town. He has the nicest shoes. So guess what? The guy joins the service. He gets fucking thrown out. He goes to college. He never paid attention in high school. So now he has to turn to the family business. So here's a guy like you that went in there at 18 and busted his hump. And now you're 32. And he walks in there and now he's your boss. This happens across America and across the world all the fucking time. Because the kid goes off. He never paid attention. They pampered him as a child. And now he has to actually go work for the family business. and they're not going to hire him as a fucking goat because
No.
the kid's already mentally broken. So they're going to give him a cush job, and this guy's going to come in and tell you what your fucking position
He'll
is.
show up at 11, leave at 3.
Sure, booze, broads, a little blow. I saw it all the time, and in a way, I wanted to be that.
Yeah,
That was
it
the
sounds
guy
great.
I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the kid that your parents gave you money, and you drove the best car in town, and you did drugs, and everybody thought you were cool. That's a great fucking way to live, but good luck. One day that balloon's going to burst, and you're going to be left out in the cold. You know, I always said that when I was 18, 19. Besides my thievery, I wasn't doing bad financially working in the city with numbers. I had the drug problem and all that shit, but beside all that, it was a living, and I was good at it. And I knew the ins and out of it because I did it as a child.
Were you worried at all? I mean, I guess in the grand scheme, it's one of the lesser of your crimes, but doing numbers, you were never worried about going to jail
it's a
for it?
misdemeanor in New York City.
But misdemeanor's
So it's a
not bad?
ticket.
I'm scared of you. I don't even want a misdemeanor.
No, they disappear after a year. You
Oh,
go see
okay.
a probation officer a few times, you lie to him, and you're out of there.
Jesus
a
Christ.
misdemeanor for numbers, you're not going to get piss test. Those are fucking nothing. It's the ones you get caught. Like, I got caught for reefer in 1983, 84 in New York City, one of those fucking years. It's 83. It was the year Valvano and his team won. So it had to be 83.
Okay.
And I got arrested maybe a month before that, and I had to go to court. They gave me, I didn't do dick. Like, probation in those days was dick. Like, I went, I got arrested. There was a date on the ticket when I had to go to court. I had to go at 8 o'clock at night. I went down at 8 o'clock at night. There was some fucking attorney there. He asked me what my name was. I told him, I shook his hand. He goes, all right, this is what's going on. If you want to take it to trial, they'll take it to trial. But if you want a plea bargain, they already decided on a 6-month deferred sentence, which meant if I didn't get arrested in 6 months or in trouble, that sentence would go away. All right? That was it. I went to court for basically them to go, all right, boom, deferred sentence.
Okay. I'm not trying to be an asshole, but
No.
you just said you got arrested a month before that. Was there any part of you like, fuck, I might get arrested in the next 6 months?
No. I got arrested for that ticket the day after the Super Bowl in January, 29th or
Okay.
30th of that year of 83.
Okay.
I didn't go to court till the court log was so backed up that I didn't go till Monday night, the night that they played college basketball championship,
So March.
which was the last night of March. I was on the street for 2 months.
Okay.
And by that time, I had been arrested in New Jersey already.
That's what I'm saying. You
for
might.
possession of stolen tools, and possession of fucking distribution of fucking drugs. No, there was no drugs at that time. It was all like fucking stupid shit, like burglary
Stolen tools.
Yeah, like burglary tools and shit like that. So I had already been arrested in Jersey, and now I got arrested in New York a month later, but I'm getting out of there on my own recognizance because I told them I'd been arrested in Jersey, so everybody knew. They knew how to find me.
You almost have the whole tri-state area.
Yeah, so I almost had the whole tri-state area. So now I got to go to court in New York City, and I walk in there, and the dude goes, boom, deferred sentence. So help me God. They go, all right, go see the court clerk. I went to see the court clerk. She gave me 3 sheets of paper. One of them had a number. And he goes, call this number between 48 hours or there will be an arrest warrant put on you. And I went home and I fucking called the guy the next morning. Why wait the 48 hours? I called him the next morning. This bitch didn't call me back for 48 hours. I called him 4 times, left messages, called his receptionist, and they said he'll get back to you in time. He called me up and he goes, what's going on with your life? I told him. He goes, was this your first arrest? No, I got arrested the month before. This is all done on the phone, dog. I'm in shock. I thought I had to hang up, and he was giving me an address to go report to. He goes, this is what I want you to do. What's today's date? I was like, I don't fucking know, April 3rd or something. He goes, call me next month on the 3rd. And I left that April 25th. And I remember calling him and going, listen, I just got to ask you permission. If not, I got to go back to court. Do you want me to... I'm leaving for Colorado. What do you want me to do? And he goes, nothing. Call me next month and tell me how it is out there.
That's kind of scary.
And that was it. And we did that. We did that maybe 3 or 4 times. And he goes, listen.
Your probation's over?
Yeah, don't call no more.
Are you sure you weren't calling? It sounds like you were calling one of your buddies. Oh,
No, we just call him and talk to him. I forget what his fucking name was. It was
my
34
God.
fucking years ago, 35 years ago. What the fuck do I know?
it is kind of crazy when you think of like just if you like going into a restaurant. And I guess not everyone, obviously not everyone who's on probation is a terrible person, but you don't know who's in, like, everyone just walking around. They just have to call a probation officer once a month.
Well, now it's completely different.
Oh, okay.
Now probation is a little bit more monitored. You know, probation is what I call a rope. When I tell you I'm going to give that person a rope,
Right.
that's probation. That means that either you're going to hang yourself with it or you're going to pull yourself in. Like 7 out of 10 times when they give you probation, not even, no, I'm lying. I say 6 out of 10 times. When you get probation, you get arrested within fucking...
Let me see if I can Google it.
Yeah, it's a tremendous rate. It really is a fucking really weird rate. Really weird rate of what it is, the percentage.
Well, not to say that they should be breaking any laws, but aren't like the rules really strict? Like if they, some of them you can't even drink.
No, there's different.
Like there's different rules.
I know when I was under the influence of all that shit, there was like if you drank, like the other day I was watching a commercial that said Listerine with no alcohol.
Right.
You know why? Because in the halfway house, people were fucking failing left and right. Some people were lying. They said they were taking Listerine, but some people were getting tested on the way out the door.
Gee, so they were drinking Listerine?
No, they were. You use Listerine in the morning, you fuck.
Well, yeah, the reason I was asking is in Boston, it freaked me out. There was this one homeless dude on the common who would drink Listerine all day. So I thought that's what you meant. They had to have no alcohol Listerine for the convicts. Okay. Yeah, he drank it. If anyone's is in Boston, like halfway up Tremont Street on one of those benches, he's always, at least when I was there, he just lived on that bench, and then you knew when he was done because the bottle would turn from green to yellow because he would pee in the bottle.
That's a beautiful story,
Yeah.
man. I'm happy you shared it with me. But at least
I miss Boston.
I never knew you were around people like that. People who had class like that.